Ugh, I've got it. I've got to get up. Ugh, my body. I've got to help Yami. Damn it. Why am I not strong enough? Hey, Jack. This beer's not going to chug itself. I need you. Audible gasp? Yes, sir.
I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Pull up, say what's the deal, bruh? See, I would lose my cool any second if they don't hear us. Many people would fear us. Say when you look in the mirror, don't you compare us to anything that get embarrassed. Ha, ha, woo. So many people be talking like they want the problems or something. I noticed that all of you polish and all of you people get punished. It's hard to keep food on your stomach, to all of the hustle keep running. That's hard to stay humble with nothing. We're off of the jungle, we're bugging. So let me come down all of a sudden. I told you that we keep it buzzing. Ha, woo. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out.
Yo, what is good, everyone? It is your boy, Jack OATz, the GOAT. You either know or you don't. Alright, so we are going to go through the latest chapter of Black Clover. This chapter was good for a few reasons, and I'm giving this a 9 out of 10 just off rip. And we'll get into it as we go along. But let's start on page 1. But before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, unlike, unsubscribe if you hate me. Go follow me on Twitter, all that good jazz, alright? So you don't miss anything, because this is getting wilder and wilder. Okay, so, first page. This is right where we left off. Yami just shot that friggin' ball through Dante, and Dante is just, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Great, cool. So now it's a little surprised, but then Yami is like, sorry, like, it looked like you had a target on your chest and everything. You're just being casual and kind of aloof, just kind of like Yami is all the time. And then we get like one of the coolest looking drawings of Dante. Like Tabata went off this week. He went off because I really, really, really messed with this. Just the way Dante looks, his eyes are just, he looks disgusting. He looks like a bug. And oh god, he looks creepy. But that's what he's supposed to look like, and that's amazing. So he starts, it looks like he's thinking to himself, he's like, no human could possibly fight me when going all out. He's saying, no, one actually exists. That's right. That's why right now, I'm in this humiliating state. So, he's pretty much acknowledging Yami in his own head that he's definitely stronger than he is, and he's got to be pushed to the next level in order to take Yami. And so he starts saying like, oh, Yami, you really are detestable. And he starts regenerating. Now, I complete miss from last week from my prediction. I thought he was going to split up into different Dantes. I'm kind of glad he didn't, because there would be no recovering from that. There's no amount of training that one could do to make sure that doesn't happen in a fight against Dante. So, thankfully that didn't happen. Alright, so he's like, alright, thank you, Yami. Now everyone's all shook, right? He's saying his innate magic is body magic. And that's really vague, honestly. It's just like, okay, body magic. There's a lot that goes on in your body. Like, does that encompass blood and bones as well? I mean, it would have to if you were, regenerating. And, I mean, I guess it would make sense. They're supposed to be siblings, Monica, Xenon, and Dante. There's those gratis siblings, I believe their names are. So it would make sense because he would be the oldest brother, and I guess he would have pretty much all-encompassing magic, and they would get like these little offshoots. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of vague. Hopefully they do expand on it more, but I guess that's what it is. Um, and he says the Devil's power explosively boosts his ability to regenerate. So I'm assuming if he didn't have the Devil, he of course could not recover from a blow like Yami just dealt to Dante. I don't see that happening without the Devil power. And so from this page on, he just starts like literally bragging about how weak he is, and it doesn't even matter how strong another person is. It's just since he can't be killed, he's just gonna win by default because they're gonna waste all their energy, and then he's gonna find the opening and kill him. I get what he's saying, but he's literally bragging about being weak, and it's like, all right. So it just goes on to the list of why I hate Dante still. Still don't like this guy, but Yami deals another death thrust, which I think is cool because now Yami's seems like he's adapted to this new move really quickly, and just blows Dante away again. And this just shows Yami's on a different level, because had this been we'll say Vonica, because we didn't get to see what Zeno's capable of. We saw what he did. He off-screened a bunch of people, but we can't really measure his strength until we actually see something. And what he did to Yuno, I still think there's a big gap between Yuno and then a captain like Yami. There's a huge gap, and these chapters only prove that. But put Yami in front of Vonica, she's not recovering from this. There's just no way. And he's been tagging Dante since he's got there. He's been slicing him open. This is the second death thrust he's blown through Dante. And it was just a matchup. It was a bad matchup. It's just like Dante says, it doesn't really matter how strong anyone is that he goes up against. They can't kill him, and they're going to end up getting tired. And he's going to win in the end, because he's got the cheat code. But yeah, Yami's on a completely different level. This really puts him up there. And man, I'm so bad at power scaling, but I really want to, because it's now I want to put him up against Zagreus on his own. I don't know. I don't know if I put him there just yet. No, yeah, I would. It would be a really, really difficult fight. It's not like he's just going to blow Zagreus away, but I think it would be a really difficult fight with Yami coming out on top in the end. But if you add someone like Asa in there from the jump, it's a done deal. Yami's just completely off the scale right now. So yeah, he's still bragging. He's throwing attacks at Yami. Yami's dodging them for the most part. But then, as the dialogue keeps going, you can tell Dante's getting more and more demented and twisted. And, I don't know if this is actually Lucifero talking, but however, it's Dante speaking his words. This is what he's saying. So, if anything, I would assume what this means is that, you can hear, when you hear those typical devil voices where it's, triple layered voices, I'm pretty sure you can hear, the tone of Lucifero's voice coming out, but Dante's in control and he's speaking. As he's, saying how he's going to crush everything and he can't kill me because, I got the cheat code and blah, 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 he deals a pretty good blow on Yami. It's not a good looking blow. That's right. What is that, your liver? It doesn't look like it's any fun. It looks like it could be potentially fatal. But after he gets stabbed, it shows Vanessa and Gray and Oz is on the ground, and they're shit, that's our captain, and he's getting handled right now. Not really handled, but he got dealt one really bad blow, and they can't really do anything to help because they're not on the same level. Not to mention Vanessa's out of magic. Gray's probably about tapped out, especially after using that new magic. So who knows? And then we see Asa. He's trying to get himself off the ground, but it's not working. And then Yami even says, "This is no good. I can't beat this guy on my own." And I made a post on Twitter about that. I was like, that I did not expect, our built Yami to say something like that, to admit, this guy is too good and I can't do this on my own. And I just want to note that Dante's form in this panel looks insanely better than that original form that we got. I really like his combined magic with the 80% devil power. Like, that is what I was wanting. I want something menacing. And I know people don't like it because it's ugly, but, like, I don't remember the last time I saw a pretty demon. I don't know. Lilith, probably pretty demon. But look, for the most part, demons should not be pretty anyway. So I really, 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 really like this design so much better. People were saying, like, in that silhouette, he looks more like Lucifer, and I mean, yeah, he does. I mean, you're going to take on the traits of the devil you're hosting. But it's not everything that Lucifer has. You know, Lucifer has a lot of hair, and the reason why I point that out is just because there's a sect of demons that are called the hairy ones. I believe they're either the Samael or the Gadrael, are the hairy ones. And that's probably where this demon is. But I mean, yeah, I see what everyone's saying. He does definitely look like Lucifero over here. But yeah, he looks dope. And then the best part in this manga so far, like, I won't go that far, but like, look, it's definitely top 5 worthy, just moments. Because this is the first time Yami says Asta's name, and he's all bloodied up, he's battered, he's sweating, and he says, I can't win this one without you, Asta. And Asta is like, oh shit, like, he just said my name, and he just, like, to be in a position like Yami, where you are fighting one of the strongest things that we've seen in this series thus far, for him, out of everyone there, to pick you, to pick Asta. He's got Vanessa and Gray to pick from. We know Gray's not really a fighter, but Vanessa is more experienced. She's been with Yami a lot longer than Asta has. And she's not on the ground, and she can move. But he chose Asta. And that just shows so much. And the next best part about this chapter is Asta going through all the memories of him and Yami. And, like, I was literally going through it. I was tearing up a bit. Because I was like, dude, I did not realize how far Asta has come. Just one on his own, and then 2 within that squad. He's done so much. And especially over the 6 months where he's on a completely new tier. It was just really nice to see this come together. And you just see Asta's fist clench up, and he just gets up, passes the sword, but calls the sword to him, and he lands right next to Yami. He's like, yes, sir. I was like, yeah, let's go, that's my boy. So, like, oh my gosh. That gave me chills, and I can't wait until that's animated, because that's going to be, like, that's so much better than the squad moments that we got, to me. Because, just like I said, I mean, that's the first time he said Asta's name. He didn't call him Runt, he didn't call him Kid. And the fact that Asta, like, in the second, he went from, like not being able to get up to, like, instantly at Nami's side. What more do you want? Like, what more could you want emotionally from a series? Like, that is exactly what I want out of the series. And I just love the side-by-side because you can see, like, the gains. If you look at my Twitter header, I put the pictures of Asta when he passes the exams, when Yami picks him, and Yami's standing aside from him, and or in front of him, and he's saying, "Prove everyone wrong and become Wizard King." Like, going from that, you know, and from wanting to kill him off of meeting him, because, you know, Asta was just being a bit of a weirdo, to now relying on Asta's capabilities and his merit. I mean, that really just hits. If that didn't hit to you, I really don't know what you're looking for out of a series. But it's up there. It's up there. And I've said this, but like at this point, I'm super ready for anything to go down. I mean, I would be happy if Yami does get captured. This was a great last moment for Asta to have with Yami, if it is in fact one of his last moments. If they catch a W, I'm not going to be mad. There are some ways Asta can help Yami in this fight. I'm going to go over it right after this. I won't even be mad if they catch this W. It can go so many ways from here, but I'm just happy that moment happened, period. Because I think they needed that. Especially, we're now, almost 30 chapters in from this time skip, and this was probably the biggest, probably the biggest moment outside of battling, that we've ever got. They did throw in like the Lord Pachika stuff, when they were like, oh, we're your friends and blah. It was like, okay, but we don't really know Lord Pachika like that. Like, I don't even like her. I'm still skeptical of her. And then, with the Golden Dawn members, when he saw, the whole thing in shambles, and he has a little flashback to, like, some of the members that we've never even met before. So you're like, oh, wow, like, we're so sorry for treating you like shit, but now you're cool. And like, oh, man, I want to be like you, I mean, that was cool and it meant a lot, but it was just like, we don't know these people. Like, I'm not super attached. I don't even like the Golden Dawn like that. So, it was like, kind of misses there compared to like what we just got. And 2 thumbs up for me. Damn, that was good. But let's get into what's going to happen next.
All right, so now we're at a point where we have Yami and Asta facing off against Dante, who's all amped up and roided out on devil and body magic. So how can they pull out on top in this fight? Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw me say this, because I was upset, and this is probably why I gave it a 9 out of 10 instead of a perfect 10. It's because Asta's not holding the right damn sword. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the Demon Slayer sword is useless. In this battle, however, it won't do much of anything, especially when we saw the sword in its best form when he went berserk in the same fight, and he scratched Dante. Dante was pretty much dodging all of those things except for that one blow. And that was not a regular Asta, and Asta won't be able to achieve that in this state. So, why are we using the sword? I don't know. But, the sword he should be using, in my opinion, is the Demon Destroyer sword. Now, it's got, like, the freaking name perfect for, destroying demons or something, maybe it's just me. Okay, but look, what I'm thinking is, okay. Actually, this is probably the best way I can sum it up right here. If you play Black Clover Phantom Knights, before I get any further than this, don't play that shit. Their staff team is fucking awful. I've had a huge issue with my game, my app, for close to a year now. No, it dropped in December. Right, December-ish. So, by the end of December, I was like 20 days into the game, and I can't upgrade any of my things. The game just crashed when I try. So, we'll say January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 7 months. It's been over half a year, and they still haven't fixed it. So many just don't play it. Don't play it. It's dumb. It's dumb. Don't play it. Get it? Got it? Doubt it. Alright. So, in the game, what they have is the tandem team, the Asta and Yami duo. Now, there are times in series, this happened in Dragon Ball for some time, it happened in Naruto a couple of times, where the game comes out and the story and some of the things that happen within that game are like, why is this even happening? But it turns out it happens later in the story. And one of those pairings is Asta in his like half-ish black form, and he's got his Demon Destroyer sword, And so in this duo, what happens is the ultimate move is Asta throws down his sword into the ground and dispels, any curse or whatever affliction on the opponents, and then Yami deals the fatal blow. And that's exactly what I'm thinking. So I don't know about striking the ground to do this, although that would be really great to do, since Asta has been having a tough time catching Dante. So it would be a massive help if he did it like that. But what I'm seeing is, and I also have another one, which I would really, if the next one happens, once I get through this, I will get to this one, because this is what I want to happen. And if it happens, I will slander every series on the next video, every single series. Okay, but in this one, if Yami's able to open up Dante for a hit, so it would be Yami, Asta, then Yami for the finish. So Yami kind of darting ahead, because he's been shown that he can catch Dante for sure. So if he can catch Dante again and open him up, and then have Asta tap him with the Demon Destroyer sword, then we can have a mental spiritual struggle where Asta is gonna have to drive Lucifer out of Dante, so that they're only fighting Dante and not amped up. And then after, 5 chapters or whatever of the struggle, that would be too long in my opinion, but let's just say 5, of the struggle between Asta fighting Lucifero, and then yeeting him from Dante's body back to the underworld, then you just have Dante, and then Yami finishes it. That could definitely work. Or even have Asta deal an extra blow. But, if we're going to keep the shonen, we're probably not going to have the MC kill a guy. Not yet, at least. I don't see Asta actually killing the dude. But I do see Yami killing the guy. Another death thrust would do that dude so dirty. And there's no amount of regeneration without Lucifero that he could do to come back from that. So that's the first option that I have, and I think that would work. Or even Asta doesn't even have to use the Demon Destroyer in that case either, as long as he uses the Demon Slayer, and he could chop him in half or something. But that would negate the magic from, I would assume, from putting him back together. So it would be that could be a way, but I would definitely prefer the Demon Destroyer, because we need to see more of that sword. It's called the Demon Destroyer for a reason, I assume. Okay, so the second one is what I want to happen. Now, I don't even know if it can happen. It should be able to, technically. And I actually got into a conversation, and it kind of opened up my eyes a bit about these swords, because it came off as someone else was confused on if the swords would still perform the same as they did for Lit, even though he had light magic. And so the deal is, from what we're seeing, what we can conclude is that the sword will function the same no matter who the user is, but the attribute of it will change. So Lit had light magic, so he was able to cloak in light magic and use light slashes. We have Asta with anti-magic, and he had lightless slashes, or I forgot what they call them. I think it was lightless, but we'll call it anti-magic slashes, just to be super technical. And that's his attribute added to the sword. So that's the only thing that changes, is the attribute, but the function of the sword will always stay the same. So with that said, if we have Asta and Yami fighting, I could totally see them getting into somewhat of a bind. But then I can see Yami just being the battle genius that he is, seeing the Demon Destroyer on the ground, picking it up, and whacking Dante with it to do him in. And maybe even do a death thrust with that, and that would be freaking amazing if he did that. Now, I forgot to preface, there's crackhead Jack theories. Because, we know that those swords take up a lot of mana. And something that I was mistaken on until our boy Quan Credible, go subscribe to his channel, go follow him on Twitter too, pointed out that Tabata says that if a mage uses all their mana, they will not lose their life. They just need to recover. They need to sleep and all that good stuff, and they'll be good. So he could definitely risk it. I would assume you don't need mana to operate those swords either. They just suck up a ton of mana. but Asta doesn't have any mana, and they still perform. So if Yami picks it up and sacrifices as a last-ditch move to use that sword, and then top it off with like the last bit of mana that he has before it sucks it all out from him, does a death thrust with the Demon Destroyer sword, Dante's dead, effectively. Like, that's it. I guess maybe he could probably even pull it off with the other swords as well. But like I said, I have a preference for the Demon Destroyer sword at the moment, because that needs to make a huge resurfacing, if you will. That is probably the most powerful sword in his arsenal for this arc. That's what I think is going to happen, and I think that's how Yami and Asta are going to coordinate. So it can either go one of those two ways. I would really like if it went the second way, just so we can have Yami season for that much longer. But we do need some Asta season, so I won't doubt the first one's going to happen for sure. But I would like to see Yami at some point in this series try and get one of those swords in his hands. That's all I got for this. Like I said, it was 9 out of 10. That moment was just too good. It was too good. Oh, you know what? And I'm actually, before I sign out of this, I do want to see Finral make up for where he dropped the ball. I would like the Black Bulls that can help right now. Like, Vanessa should have something ready to go by now. Gray, I would love to see Gray hop on the front line. Like, we haven't seen like anything from her. I don't want to say anything, but we haven't seen a lot from Gray, and it would be amazing to see her jump on the front line. If we can get all of those guys, and even Gauch, if Gauch pops up to help in the state that he's in, hats off. But to get another squad moment to really rally and make sure Yami and Asta aren't just throwing their lives away, so that they can buy Finral time to go get captains, that would be just as good. It would really be just as good. Hey, Broku just uploaded a video. Go check that out. So that's what I want. If Yami doesn't pick up the Demon Destroyer sword or any other sword, then the next thing I'd want to happen is another squad moment where they're all trying their hardest to buy Finral time, let him get out of there. Go and grab like Jack. I would love to see Jack come. Anyway, it'd be awesome to see Jack come and help the fight. A lot of people want to see like Fuegolean or Nozel. Nozel might be cool. I would just like to see captains we don't normally see. It would even be cool to see Rill come there. I think Rill will be a great asset as far as just like distraction and overpowering, to kind of take the ease off of most of those the mages there. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That's all I got for this review. I'm going to put out another video after this, because there is some shit we might have to look for in the Heart Kingdom. And they could be in a bit more trouble than we gave them credit for. So look out for that video. But other than that, that's it for this. Like, subscribe, unlike, don't subscribe, unfollow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Leave comments on what you thought about this chapter, what you liked about it, what you didn't like. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, leave hate comments, all that good stuff. Anyway, it's been Jack OATz to go. You either know or you don't.
It's still Yami season.